Well, hi everybody. Thanks for joining me and welcome to Montmartre. I haven't made a video in a little while, but I felt compelled to do so today because it is Wisteria season in Paris right now. The date is April 18th for future reference if you ever want to come see this on your own. And I just couldn't pass up sharing this with you. We're on the Rue de l'Abreuvoir, one of my favorite streets of all time, and it gets even prettier nowadays. And so the Wisteria was a little late to arrive, but it is here now, and this is absolutely a spectacular time. Of course, you have to jockey for position here, and this may be not the best time of day to do a broadcast. But as you can see, this is remarkable, and I've got a lot of spots in Montmartre to share with you that have loveliness like this all around. I did another episode on my YouTube channel. I believe it was episode number 132, and it was called the Montmartre in Bloom. And so you may want to check that out on this YouTube channel, episode 132. But this one, let me come over and zoom you in on this beauty here of the Rue de l'Abreuvoir. And I'm excited to share this with you this afternoon. Yep, here we go. And of course, this street rarely disappoints. Those of you who know Montmartre will know it's one of the most picturesque ways to approach the top of the hill. And we'll take our time nice and slow here to take it all in. And it is quite animated, you could say, on a sunny Friday afternoon. And let us not be too hasty, taking all of the beautiful blue sky today. And we'll head down that way in a moment. So as usual, this is a pre-recorded video, so I'm not live streaming it. However, if you're watching the YouTube premiere, that means that you're the first to see it all at the same time, like a watch party of sorts. And if you are watching the premiere right now, I should be in the live chat with you. So feel free to say hello and ask any questions and make any comments to me in the chat during the live premiere. Also, if you're watching the premiere along with me right now, feel free to send, if you want to support this video, you can send a super chat, and that's the $ next to your chat box. And that allows you to send a little something to help out and support the cause. That's always much appreciated. Look at this beautiful, like almost two distinct horizontal lines of Wisteria. And a city bus, of course, for good measure. I'm recording this in 4K quality, so I'm going to allow myself to zoom in just a little bit, and hopefully that will still be nice for your eyeballs. Speaking of 4K, feel free, regardless of when you're watching this, to raise the video quality in your YouTube settings to as high as your internet connection will allow. So you can get the full effect here of the Wisteria in Montmartre. Let's just zoom in one more time here and really get a good look before moving on to our next locale. And I'll even use one of these handy dandy little posts to stand on. Look at that. Woo! I wanted to start off with a bang. This is almost like a fireworks show that really wants to get your attention right away. I'll give you the 360 from here. Again, we're on the Rue de l'Abreuvoir for those of you keeping track on your maps. Of course, you could recreate this walk of mine today if you come through anytime early to mid-April. Again, it's mid-April right now, and because we had some cold weather, the Wisteria was actually a little late to arrive. So middle of April, and then cross your fingers and take your chances. Look at that. My goodness, with the sky. Are you kidding me? Woo. Again, another shout out to all of you. I assume some of you might be newcomers to this YouTube channel, but plenty of you have been around for many years, supporting me and being wonderful people, curious people, and we've enjoyed some amazing episodes together. Please, if you're not familiar with my channel, go back and look in the playlist that's called Paris Live, the playlist on my YouTube channel here, and you will find 147 previous episodes of me doing just this, walking around and sharing the prettiest stuff with you that I can find, with a little bit of history thrown in. So shout out to all of you wonderful frites. And I'm sure right now, during the premiere, we're all having a love fest in the live chat, because it's been a little while since we all watched a new video together. Hopefully you're enjoying that. I'm sure I will too. Speaking of previous videos, you know, I've practiced my walking backwards skills, so let's make sure we employ that. And maybe a nice little zoom in here. Allez-y, monsieur, y a pas de souci. People being polite, trying to not block my view. That car is blocking my view, though. I'm going to stand up on another one of these posts. So that's the Sacré-Cœur that we can see, the basilica at the top of the hill. And I'm sorry, this view will just never get old. I still remember the first day I came through here, way back in 2007, thanks to my mom flying me over. That's a whole other story for those of you who don't know. Maybe we'll get into that story another time. Place de Lira, dedicated to the famous singer who lived and sadly died in Montmartre. But she's dedicated there, commemorated there for those who don't know. Let's get a nice good old-fashioned view of the staircase that we're about to descend. It's always more fun to go down them than up them, so let's give that a shot, but that's nice. All right, let's go. This is maybe a view. Those of you who are familiar with my videos, you know I'm always looking for a good composition to pause on. If we can just remove, bink, there you go. That's what you call old-fashioned photoshopping. We'll get an action shot of some ladies walking down here. This is what I used to call a bit of Paris meditation, and I think the term is still quite apt. And today was supposed to be quite cloudy, and we are absolutely fortunate. I like the pop of color on this lady. Well done. Good luck with the stairs, my lady. Oh, gotta pause for the dog. Beautiful doggy. He's taking a break, which is smart. Il fait une pause. A break, it's always a good idea to take a break. Why not? Let's follow the dog up. No, I know we got some dog fans out there.
And that's definitely not the statues
before. So running parallel to the street that we were just on is another view that really grabbed me. Still have a memory of the first time I saw it, and it's right along here, the Rue Saint-Vincent, St. Vincent. And we'll let this beautiful car pass. Oh, they'll let us pass. So look at this. You can still see a little bit of the bell tower of the Sacré-Cœur, which is that architecture in the back. And then you've got these lovely arches in the wall, which have always really done it for me, to be honest. Ooh, and just that ocean of green on the side. It's almost worth getting run over for. It's not my first time almost getting run over on one of these. But tell me that yellowish green against the blue that's an impressionist painting waiting to happen. So I was talking up these arches, so let's not miss those. Look at that. Look at that. You know, once I start whispering in the street, you know it's serious. Maybe like a lower view, like a cobblestone view. Bring it on, car. I ain't scared. Yes. It's a good day to be alive. Wow. I know how many of you, still those of you who, the Frites and whatnot, who have come to Paris many, many times, you still can never quite get enough. So I hope this is helping you helping to transport you a little bit, and it certainly is fun to dust off the old equipment and walk through the streets with you again. In case you're curious what's happening behind us. More blue sky. Delicious. So yeah, I've got a whole walkway for the residents. For the residents that are lucky enough to live here, they've got a little platform along here they use to access their front doors. There's a staircase. I'm a little bit curious. Is it enjoyable at all to climb up here? Let's find out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll do. Again, if you're just joining, especially if you're watching the premiere with me, I should be in the live chat, so feel free to say hi, share any comments you have along the way. The super chat function is the $ next to your chat box if you want to help send a little thank you, monetary thank you. That's always helpful. And even in the future, if you're watching, YouTube has this thing called I forget what it's called, but it's a way for you to make a small donation in the comments section. Super thanks, I think, is the name. It's been a little while. Even that view, I mean, even with the cars. Just a model, imagine that those are a couple of Model T Fords. It's just one of those days in one of those neighborhoods where I think everything looks good. These people right here, it's almost as if they've got their private staircase right just to their door. I just see one address number. And they've got their staircase and also their private street lamp. And again, I ask myself the question, how long do I have to stand here before I get invited in for coffee? Okay, but hey, I'm here to show you Wisteria. And I know I said we'd take our time. But let's go see some more of it. Because I'm guessing I probably put the word Wisteria in the title of this video. And so let's stick to the theme, people. Paris's oldest cabaret, 1860, the Lapin Agile, the Agile Rabbit, classic. One of my many dream homes just right here. Don't ever change, little dream home. Just don't ever change. That is dreamy, especially with the view of the vineyard. I know some of you know this area very, very well. Only working vineyard in Paris. You can taste that. Very hard to get a hold of that wine. You can taste it during the Montmartre Wine Festival in October. And you can also buy a bottle in the gift shop of the Montmartre Museum up there. Those are the only two ways that I've ever found to taste the wine of this vineyard. The October Wine Festival or popping into the gift shop of the museum. Yeah, we've got a little splash, and then there's some more to the side. And it looks like if I extend my arm up, it might continue. I can't see my screen at all, so I don't know what I'm showing you, but I hope it's nice. And I hope we're not bothering anybody. It's all in the name of beauty, and I think that that's a fairly noble quest, so I don't allow myself to feel too guilty. Here we go. Right there. This one, the leaves are already in full bloom, which means the flowers have been around for a little while. And so let's do the head to tail here. I don't know how long this took to grow. Absolutely stunning. Look at this. Wow, and if I'm just gonna slide you through, do this old move, remember this one, or slide you through the gate. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Oops. I just realized it's almost like watching a fireworks show in slow motion or frozen in time. And then it just continues in the back right there. Do you see that old lantern? I just might have to zoom in on that beauty. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm whispering and gasping at the same time. Pound for pound, Montmartre must be the best Parisian neighborhood if you want to come and enjoy a bunch of wisteria all in close proximity. So I gotta slip you back through the gate here without banging you around too much. Oops, someone's coming, so. And we're going to backtrack a bit, but that's a beautiful house, let's not miss it. With its own flowers. We're not going to discriminate with flowers right now, so there you are. And this is the Rue Saint-Vincent, Saint Vincent. And we're going to have a walk up this substantial hill to get us next to Place du Tertre and our next set of wisteria. Again, if you didn't hear me at the beginning of this, I'm shooting this in 4K quality, so it should be pretty high def, and if you change your YouTube video settings to as high as your internet connection will allow, then that will give you the best possible viewing experience, as they might say. Let's have a look here. So that's the Montmartre Museum in the back there. Oh, I know something I should mention for you folks who are new to this idea. I'm a full-time tour guide in Paris, so I give walking tours almost every day of these different neighborhoods, including Montmartre. So I will put all the info in the description if you'd like to see this area in person with me. And there's also information in the description for supporting me in various ways. I have a Patreon page where I have lovely people who support me monthly. And then I do put a lot of my photography on there. And I have some plans for some other VIP tidbits, we could say. Special amazing meals that I've eaten recently, particularly in Montmartre and other places as well. So all of that extra content is a reward for those folks who support me on Patreon. And those folks, if you're out there, you are absolute rock stars. Present supporters and past supporters included. Look at that, man. This is just such a great time to be here. Famous Maison Rose, the pink house. From 1905, that little cottage there. Am I stalling to catch my breath on this hill, or I don't know. Look at that. That's an old reservoir because it was they had a difficult time bringing fresh water up to the hill of Montmartre. So that's one of a few reservoirs that they would keep water on hand, particularly for fires, but I would assume even for just the homes in Montmartre. I feel like there are a lot of buildings that you folks will be sad if I pass by them without throwing a look up there. Folks love their ivy, right, on the houses. This is actually some wisteria, if I can permit myself to zoom in. It's not quite as stunning, but in the middle of your screen there, some little sprigs of wisteria. It's not the healthiest plant this time around, but kind of depends on the year, I find. And looking at my old photos and videos, I find that even the same wisteria bush will bloom in different sections and to different degrees depending on the year and the climate and I imagine the sun and the temperature. Again, for those of you looking for a real quick fix here, you might want to skip ahead a little bit. I've decided to take it nice and slow because we haven't done one of these videos in a while. And I thought we would savor the flavor, as they say. Why be in a rush? Merci, excusez-moi. Okay, we're at the top of the hill. This is always a view that I don't pass up right here. Again, Sacré-Cœur back there. And a handsome French waiter doesn't hurt. Yeah. Bien sûr, madame. Wow, wow, wow. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I really shouldn't sing. Always regret singing. Okay, to get to the next Wisteria, we've got to fight our way through a little bit. In fact, I'm going to take a detour. Because I got to tell you, the crowds in Paris are like I've never seen personally since COVID. So it just means that we need to get even more strategic with the way that we get ourselves around, depending on the time of day and the time of the week. This street back here is always quieter, and it will lead us to our next flowers. For fans of Dali, this is it's not the most popular museum, but it is a Salvador Dali museum. He lived in Montmartre, as well as other neighborhoods in Paris, and so he is an indelible part of the art history of this city. And his museum is just tucked away here on the backside of this rather crowded section. But yeah, just so for anyone who wants a quieter art museum experience, you can certainly get it there compared to the other bigger ones. We'll get our first proper views of the city down there. We're looking at, I'm putting right in the center of the screen, the dome of the Pantheon to give you, those of you who know the layout of the city, hopefully that'll give you a little idea of what we're looking at. And then to the left of the dome of the Pantheon are the two bell towers of Notre Dame Cathedral that are squeezed together. Over in this general direction. Not that my big sausage finger helps at all to find it. All right, Wisteria. Wisteria. Okay, so there's actually a story here. This restaurant used to have for years, when I moved here, a big, beautiful wisteria tree or bush or whatever you want to call it. And it was old and it grew and it had vines all up here attached and it created a beautiful canopy. And of course, when it was wisteria season and it was in bloom, this was just such a beautiful floral, pastoral type of dining area. But then the city made the controversial decision to remove it. They deemed it a bit too old and decrepit and it wasn't in good shape. So they literally removed it. I remember the people of Montmartre were very upset and tried to protest the removal of this old, rather historic wisteria bush. But I guess the city had its reasons. So you can see, by the way, it's a baby bush, but it's doing its best, and maybe in a few years' time, because wisteria does grow like a weed. But what's nice is we can enjoy this, which is all along the wall here. So the spirit of that former wisteria certainly lives on. Wonderful. It almost looks a bit better when the clouds come in, so they're not quite as blasted with sunlight. Oh man. It goes without saying, but of course the artist spent time here. Everywhere you look, you've got enough inspiration to last multiple lifetimes. And then from here, you don't have to go far because there's a bit on this, one of the very substantial staircases that leads down. And you'll see on the left here, there's some wisteria that I'll get us closer to in a moment, but let's enjoy the view right here, and I'll shut my mouth for a second. So, all along here, sorry, that graffiti I put there last night, I hope it's not a distraction, my bad. So there here you can see some white wisteria, right? Which is, I don't know anything if that's a different species or if that's just what the plants randomly do. Someone who's smarter than me in the comments might be able to, but it's rare. There's one other section on this tour that I'll show you that has a combination of purple and white. But this one is just delicious. Allez-y, madame, vous me dérangez pas du tout. Ooh, it's like a steady stream of people here. It's like jumping into the highway. Excusez-moi, je passe juste par là. Merci beaucoup. So So you can see it's maybe not the most lush this year. Like I said, every year is different, but the fact that you get to enjoy that as a backdrop as you're climbing up these diabolical stairs. I just counted the other day, I believe there were 92 of these steps. Somehow counting takes the sting out of it, so I recommend that trick if you haven't figured it out already. So you get the idea, it's all along here. And let's head back up here. A little pep in the step. Get the blood flowing here. Oh, the quads. Oh, the quads. For those who are in love with Place du Tertre, even though we're not going to muscle our way through there, I should show it to you for old time's sake. This time of day, during spring break, it's almost impossible, but
y con esas bonitas palabras. A mí también me gusta brindar por nuestra estancia en París, espero la estéis disfrutando mucho, por este barrio, este Montmartre, que todavía conserva ese encanto de él. También porque espero
this boy is getting his portrait done and his mom's holding his hand while he sits for the portrait. I want to go around to the other side to see what the picture looks like.
Salud.
That's a caricature. What do you think? Is he going to like it when he sees it? Probably.
Dedicarnos unos minutos, dejarnos una reseña del tour a través de Google, lo agradeceríamos muchísimo. Os llevan un par de minutos y nos imaginéis cada ayuda con nosotros.
Okay, we're going to backtrack just a bit, but it won't take long to get to the next set. Young lovers, immortalized on film now. I just realized I've been doing a continuous video for about 36 minutes and I should probably stop and bank it just in case there's a glitch and all my work is lost. So I'm going to pause, I'm going to do that right now, and hopefully for you it's going to be a seamless transition. Okay.
Un poco más, si ella subido con la cabeza en la mano, sí. Un poco más de verdad, brazo.
I can predict some people's comments right now. They're probably saying, Corey, I'm glad you're dealing with the crowd so I don't have to. One last look at this classic intersection. La Bonne Franquette. Le Consulat. I heard this Consulat building is the oldest in Montmartre. Here's another, I believe, another former reservoir. It's been a little while since I reread all of my notes. But yeah, I think this was one of those related to the reservoir situation. Now here's what I wanted to show you on the Rue Norvin. Here we got a little extra combo with a street art that is very palette appropriate, you could say. That should be the name of a rock band. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Palette appropriate. Maybe not. I could probably do better than that. Welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Wisteria Wonderland. That's possibly worse. Sorry. Ah, isn't that lovely? You know what's also lovely? Classic. Oldie but goodie. Okay, we've got one that's so good. I didn't know whether to start here or at the other spot that we started, so that was a good problem to have, to figure out what was the best impressive introduction. Look at this, by the way, this is new, where this is the marking that pedestrians have the right of way on the street. So the cars currently can still drive up here, but this is new, this idea of like, we got to start taking care of the pedestrians. And in fact, there's a big city proposal, well, I believe it's already in the works, where they're going to make many of these streets pedestrian-only streets. Any of you have walked through here on a crowded day, you know that it's almost crazy that they allow cars to try to sneak through those little cobblestone alleyways when all of those people are in the way. And of course, the residents are very angry. There are banners and signs all around Montmartre right now showing that the residents aren't happy, and they're trying to petition to halt or at least alter this project. Because they're going to lose a lot of parking spaces and accessibility to their homes, because they won't be able to bring their cars close to their apartments anymore. So that's the latest controversy, you could say. I guess it depends on which side you fall, whether you prefer the pedestrian aspect of these streets or if you see it as the residents do. So isn't this gorgeous? And again, the white wisteria. Look at that. Oh. Wow. In this case, because of our wacky weather this year, it was cold and warm and cold and warm. Not all the bushes all around Paris bloomed at the same time. Some of them are just getting started, some of them are on the way out, but these ones, I think we hit them right in the sweet spot. And it actually wraps around the other side, so we're not done with this location yet. This right here is interesting. Hopefully the color is coming through on the video. I had to research what this was called. Apparently it's called tamarisk. Maybe you'll see it well that way. So that's a nice little bonus right there, the tamarisk. And then there's a private yard here that's got a little bit of lilac for good measure. So any lilac fans out there? Hopefully you can make that out. Wish my arm was longer. Back to the wisteria. Wow. Yeah, but before we move on, I gotta back up and get the full frontal here. All right, so there we go. Look at that. Delicious. That's another sign I'm enjoying myself, is when I start talking about eating all of these scenes. C'est beau, huh? Beautiful. I just heard a man laugh behind me, and I don't know if he was laughing at me. It happens from time to time. More young lovers under the canopy. Do it, do it, do it. Go for it. We won't watch, we promise. It's like a wedding photo. Gazing into each other's eyes. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Okay, so look at this. It wraps all the way around. Down the staircase. Booyah. Oh, and all the way down that way. Look at that. Street lamp. I have to give a shout out to my buddy Matthew. Matthew is a longtime supporter and fan of my videos. Matthew, I have a feeling that you might be watching this, and I want to say hello to you, a shout out specifically to Matthew. And there's one particular thing that I used to say on my videos that he got a kick out of. When I saw something cool, I would say, "What?" So that's for you, Matthew. This is one of those what moments. Just for you, buddy. Oh, you know what? I don't want to burn the calories, but I'm going to go down and come back up for y'all. Because it begs the question, what's the experience like coming up these stairs? Cause I wonder where you are. I've got to stop singing. Wow. Yes. Yes. Yes, Queen. Look at this. I think this mom-daughter combo, they're just having their lunch on the stairs like it's no big deal. Well done, well done. Here, maybe I can give you like a little drive-through. Sound effects included. Well, for those of you who have stuck with me here and stuck through this video so far without leaving, hopefully that was a good little payoff for your time. And we're not done yet. One last look. I swear, some of this Wisteria is so darn good. Paris could charge an extra couple of euros admission to these streets. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. Comment. Okay. This is always a really killer view. For those who don't know Montmartre well, it used to have a dozen or even 15 windmills long ago peppered throughout this neighborhood because the higher elevation meant more wind. And out of those dozen or so windmills, only 2 have survived. And luckily they are still viewable. Today this is the one that's most accessible and you can get closest to. From the year 1717. It's been around a while. Famously attached to this restaurant called Le Moulin de la Galette, and there's a whole story there. But again, I'm a tour guide. If you come through here with me, I'll show you this in person, and I'll give you the whole backstory related to the artists of the area and the Impressionists, and all that good stuff.
hôtel, un petit hôtel, c'est toujours mieux.
So onto the Avenue Junot. Quick little detour for a splash of purple. Along the way, it's a cute little independent theater right here, but I always like to poke my nose through this gate. First of all, the gate itself. This is a private community with a series of homes behind. And there's no Wisteria in there, but I always dream of coming home to this. Is this a, no, okay. Just looking at my options here for showing you. Are those carnations? I don't know. I don't really know flowers. One last look here. Wow, come on. Get real. There we go. Take me home. If you're saying to yourself, wow, Corey's in kind of an 80s mood today, guess what? I always am. Avenue Junot. And I can already see our next cloud of violet. So it's not far away. We got one of those Citroën 2 chevaux coming through here. Put, 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 put. A lot of tour groups now are using that as their mode of transportation to get clients around. Makes perfect sense. What better idea than to take a lawnmower engine and try to use it to pull 3 or 4 grown adults up a hill. I heard that those old Citroëns, they were the most popular car in post-war France, and they have only 2 cylinders, about 9 horsepower total. The top speed of those cars is 40 miles an hour. It takes over 40 seconds for it to reach that top speed. Here we are. Look at these young lovers. It's kind of a theme. It's a theme of young lovers and Lionel Richie. In stores now. This is great. Let's get inside it. Yes. Look at this. I'm going to slide through the gate here. All the way up above their entrance. It smells so good you can't imagine. They've even got a vine that's taking over their little balcony railing. All right, there you go. Number 18, Avenue Junot, for those who are taking notes. Nice, nice, nice. Good for the soul. There's a little splash here. You know, just for authenticity's sake, I don't want to miss any. I don't want to diss a bush just because it's on the small side. We're not discriminating today. And now back up and around. There's a second windmill. As I said, there are two. I'm going to show you that one because there's some more wisteria next to it. Let's see if anything's going on in this park. Just a real quick peek. Nice spot for the kids to play. Clouding up a bit, and the wind has arrived. This is the little theater that I mentioned last time. Théâtre Le Pic. These flowers, I'm going to take a risk. The flowers along this restaurant, I saw them earlier. I couldn't tell if they were real or fake because there's a little bit of a trend of fake flowers. And I just wanted to... No. They're fake. Bummer. They tricked me. I mean, right? I'm not the only one. They almost look like they could be real. And the romantic dreamer in me wanted to think that in just a couple of days' time, somehow they magically grew. Isn't that an interesting contrast of the tree plus the wings of the windmill? Nice. But the second windmill is tucked away back here.
I was just saying that you have good stamina.
Previous windmill is 300 years old. This one tucked away up here is 400 years old. And it's not quite as accessible as you can see. But do you see that little wisteria splash at the bottom there? So you get kind of a twofer package here. The closer I get, the more we lose the view of the wisteria, but I just want to make sure that you see the Bleu de Fin is the name of the windmill. All right, au revoir, windmill. We are walking right now, we're walking past a lunch I had today that is one of the best lunches I've had in Montmartre in a long time. And don't hate me for this, but I'm going to save this secret tip for my Patreon supporters. If you want to link and become a member there for private content, extra content, then you'll find that link in the description. And I want to share with you actually a few of my favorite meal spots, lunch spots here. Because I tell you, if you're walking around and you're near Sacré-Cœur and the Place du Tertre and up there with the tourists, you do not want to try to get a good lunch over there. You will, you'll empty your bank account trying. Believe me, I speak from experience. So it can be for travelers and locals alike, it can be very helpful to know where you're not going to get ripped off and where you could actually have a memorable meal. So we're on the Rue Le Pic now. This is maybe worth a little look. I mean, heck, everything's worth a look. Another staircase, this one's private. And it leads up to some homes, also the famous hotel called Hôtel Particulier. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that, but I think that's where we are. And that's Montmartre in a nutshell. Lots of stairs, lampposts, and green and blue for all of your impressionist painting needs. This is a cute spot here. This is not the place that I was talking about, but it passes the first test, which it appears to me that it has locals enjoying. Bonjour. What side of the street do I want to get hit on? Okay. Just to show you my loyalty to the theme, I brought us all the way over here just for maybe like 18 or 19 little wisteria blossoms, but it's so worth it. Look at this. Number 68 Rue Le Pic. Oh, it's cute. Again, we're not discriminating today. Because any of you that know Wisteria, I happen to have it in my backyard. Small bushes become big bushes very quickly. So this one is going to do just fine. I've got, I believe, one last section to share with you. As we make our way down Rue Le Pic, we're in Van Gogh territory now. And of course, like every other tour guide that walks past Van Gogh's address, I will point it out to you. You may not realize, for us tour guides, to walk by something notable and not mention it sometimes physically pains us. And I personally will sometimes have regrets of, why didn't I stop and mention that? So just for my own sanity, almost a bit of OCD, I can't walk by without at least showing you. It's right where these kids are dancing. Number 54, Rue Le Pic. Rue Le Pic. Beautiful blue doors. Kind of. Hold on. Thank you. 54. So there's a little plaque there. Van Gogh lived here from 1886 to 88, 2 short years. Very formative years. Again, it sounds like I'm plugging my tours, but if you do take my Montmartre tour with me, we'll come here and I'll show you lots of images and tell you about Van Gogh's time here. I maintain that the Van Gogh style that we know and love, the style of his paintings, was born in Montmartre, that he would not have become the same painter had he not spent 2 years here. speaking of plugs, there are probably a few other things that I should be, technically if I had my business hat on, I should be mentioning. I am a street photographer, very passionate about that. So feel free to follow me. I'm speaking, that's a great looking gent here. Speaking of that, you can find my street photography in a few ways. I have some of it on my Instagram and also my Facebook page. But the lion's share of my street photography, all shot on film, Kodak film, which I've been doing for 2 years now. That's mostly shared on my Patreon page. So again, I guess another plug for that. So tons of photography, Paris street photography, which is by design doing its best to avoid the cliche photos of Paris that of course we can find everywhere, and doing my best to dig down and find the more unique moments that are very French, but also I'm going to stop talking now because it's kind of gross to hear myself explain it. That's a good thing about photos. You don't have to explain them. You can just look at them. Use your eyeballs. We're on the Rue Constance. And before we see the last Wisteria around the corner, this is a great little artist studio. It actually says brocante, which means it used to be more of a second-hand antique type of store. But now it clearly is, I believe it's a privately owned art studio. And there's always some pretty interesting stuff, especially if you look through. Hopefully we're not bothering the artiste. No one's in there. So yeah, can you see if I block this? You can see the interesting sculptures in there, like a unicorn person. That's great. I hope this person, whoever they are, I should say, I hope they're supporting themselves and doing all right. Look at this. Wonderful. I love this dusty, hazy patina on the glass too. It's even better. I hope they never lose that. Don't ever change, window. This is just the beginning. So you see it here and you're like, okay, yeah, that's nice. But then you realize that these lucky SOBs have it all like around their shutters. Can you make that out? Like it's all, they literally can't even close their shutters. Right there. That's pretty dreamy. Wow, look at that. Yes. Yes. And the Wisteria said, I could stop there, but no. It's a bit of an overachiever because look what it did. It essentially invaded this entire tree. Can you see that? All that color in there, that's Wisteria. Oh, that's incredible. You don't see that very often. You see Wisteria take over a lot of structures and dominate, but you don't see it completely take over a tree. Bonjour mesdames. Je suis admirateur de glycine.
On comprend.
Oui, bah, c'est vraiment le moment de l'année. Hein.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Wow, impressionnant. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining me on this Wisteria walk. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. It's been a while. It was fun to spend this time with you again. Thanks to everyone who joined me in the YouTube premiere and chatted with me live and left a super chat and all of that good stuff. And if you need links to follow more of my work in my photography or my Patreon page and all that good stuff, or to book a tour, you can find those links in the description of this video. So I wish you all the best. I hope I see you all in Paris sooner rather than later. And I hope you have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. Au revoir for now. Bye bye.